Hey guys, Tightrope here, bringing you a 1v1 today. We're on Villa Fiore. Playing today spawning on the left, we've got Across the Pacific, with British forces locked into the new Canadian shock. On the right hand side is Kayaking Koala, with Wehrmacht unselected on the battle group. In terms of ranks, as a Patreon backer submitted game, Across the Pacific, around 500-ish. Kayaking Koala is like 330.
A new infantry section is ready for battle. Rifle section reporting.
So capping up the double pio start against double sappers. Don't have to build while you're capping anymore. It looks like Cross Pacific going to opt for that here. I think this is a fair spot. Takes a long time to cap a high resource point like this. And there is quite a lot of fighting on this point, so I think it's a reasonably valuable point to bag up. But based on this, I would probably not choose to fight with this squad in the middle. Maybe try assist over here, combine these two to fight somewhere over here. It's not as much to play for with the squad in the middle. This squad can't wire this off. Maybe if it was like a grenadier that could wire this off. Fighting up here makes a bit more sense. This guy's a little bit isolated at the moment. I think oftentimes on Villa Fiore, like a lot of the early combat is, centered around here. The hill and these two low fuels close to the middle. And that can make a big difference, if you've got control of both these low fuels. Your light vehicle, maybe like a minute earlier, you've got good control. And that makes a huge difference in win percentages. So bad start there for Across the Pacific, runs into a 2-on-1. But good over here. Sappers should be able to bully these engineers. They're running around though, not chasing. Slow on the chase, could have kept the pressure up there. Did manage to capture this fuel. Didn't manage to wire it off though, didn't see the exact timings, but got to queue up those construction actions after the cap instead of before. Something need to adapt playstyle to. Don't know what happened over here. Sappers might still win it though, they're just so much better. But it's still a situation where these guys, it's not really safe to come up here and cap. These two squads could come into intercept, so it has to retreat. So we've got some elevation stuff happening here. I think this squad needs to maybe flank down to like this heavy cover. Get the angle. Maybe this mortar as well. Oof. Might have been auto-attacking them, so if they keep moving, they're not going to be getting blasted by it. Could even be no spot before to just get these two squads. Ignore these two grenadiers behind heavy cover on the fuel. Charge onto the mortar. Force that away. Then come back in from this angle. You could even leave like one of the two. We'll go pause here for a second. Could even have left one of the two. Or somewhere like on the hill behind heavy cover, like back here. Maybe here or something like that. So as if these guys try to rotate back, get in a good cover position to prevent the rotation back into the middle. You already have a squad punishing them for it. Or you could continue after chasing the mortar, just charge onto the cutoff with the two squads. Plenty of options. So we need to run back in. Oh, they got it anyway? Didn't look like they were going to get it. That's okay. So the healing pulse goes further than the animation shows? Didn't know that. That was quite a bit further, wasn't it? That was maybe about 8 range. Alright, well that's good to know. Mine gets interrupted. think mining up like this could be pretty obvious. You know, you run into the circle, your opponent might see it flash, draws their attention. Oh, and they're dead. Two flamers, very quick kill, topped up on cover as well. Let's just stop and talk about that again for a second. Yeah, running onto a spot like this, yeah, your opponent notices you maybe on the tactical map. They see you've got an engineer over there, and then come back and see a few seconds later and there's no capture happened. They don't see any sandbags or wire in the vicinity. They know you're planting a mine, right? So not really a good timing to do it anymore. Some habits you have to break out with that building while capturing change. Some Humber in the build. This is not really ideal. Bringing the squad into close quarters on the Grenadiers here. You better stay off on the edge and maybe rotate out to the side. And at the moment, the Mortar is definitely helping Kayaking Koala a lot through the middle of the map. So trying to fight away from it probably be more ideal. It's fine just to like run back a little bit, wait for your light vehicle, then come back in. Especially if you've got the, you know, on-field healing from this battle group. Taking a few bullet shots won't matter if you can come back, decapture a territory, and heal up afterwards. So this is something you got to be really careful on this map about. Luckily, Kayaking is too slow to react. Oh, he doesn't have munitions for it, actually. Okay. Planting some mines. So he doesn't have munis to double Faust. But you got to be really careful about coming around a blind corner. That could have been a dead Humber there to a double Faust. In those situations, just drive wide, you know, there's no shame in it. Make sure you're at a safe distance. And we're getting some solid shots in here. So obviously across the Pacific at this stage, not up against a bunch of camouflage machine guns, so no pressure to go recce's on every single section. Could mix in some other upgrades. Have seen Panzer Grenadiers as well, so you know you're probably not going to need the AT rifles as much. Not going to be up against like a Whirlwind or a 221. So yeah, some greens can be an option. Good reactions to the Mortar there, dodging away. T-guns back there. Oh! Backed up, but only like 5-ish range, not all the way. Maybe the Pyro's vision. Maintaining sight next to their long vision. That's a nasty loss on the Humber. Rebuild on the Humber. That's probably fine. Green section getting a nice decrew there. Good time to retreat before you lose too much manpower. Okay. Squad's alive at least. But yeah, again, I think this is a fine choice to go for the Humber at this stage because you're not going to be up against a Whirlwind. It's, you know, arriving around 11-ish minutes at this time in this patch. The Whirlwind would just come out and start to own this super fast. If you're up against that kind of build, you probably need to consider taking up for a Stuart. You still want a light vehicle. Going for some kind of plan B stall strat. Bounced off. Could be a time to consider building a second engineer again. Faster repairs for the Humber, especially if you're going to invest in rebuilding it. You want that. And minesweepers. Looks like there is a mine here. I'm not sure whose that is, but it's decent. It's just a decent unit. Good for capping as well. So on Kayaking Koala's size, doesn't have anything.
Incendiary weapons have been rolled out to our
Upgrades. I think he probably should have gone for Viet 1 training.
The beggars are threatening a victory point.
Got 2 pea greens. Looks like he's invested in 2 AT guns. Got quite a few units from there as well. Honestly, it's pretty cheap for what it does, I think. Wehrmacht Vet training. Might as well continue backing this up a bit closer to base. Yeah, there it goes.
Our opponent is in control of all
Oh, this is a
victory
painful one. Could have just stayed on the building's blind side. Not sure how much was being watched though.
Shock infantry have been assigned to our sector.
So Kayaking Koala is starting to turn this one around quite sharply. Much larger army right now. It has invested into 2 AT guns, which kind of bad for map control, but if they do manage to one-tap that Humber, it's going to be a sad time. Kayaking Koala went for the mid upgrade. Okay, does go for Viet 1 on that now, just recently. Which means no casualty clearing, so it's one good thing going for across the Pacific. Doesn't have to worry about losing from manpower attrition so much. So we've got 1 Canadian shock out. They're not particularly powerful. Oh. Oh, one is dead. There might have been a spot, like, I don't know if reaction times are fast enough, but to just try launch a smoke from the Humber. Try force them into attack rounds. Because just straight backing away. AT guns were too advanced in their position, it wasn't working. This is actually pretty good for across the Pacific right here. Some long-range fighting. Mortar out the back though is still a nuisance, isn't it? Does make the Vickers maybe a little bit less good of an option. Generally is pretty solid against pea greens, but I feel like sometimes I have trouble using it on this map through the middle. Especially while all of these obstacles are still up. And here they come. Okay, at least retreated in time. That wasn't a complete disaster. The squad's diverging. Going for the mortar. Machine gun's going to get blasted in the meantime, though. There it goes. 2 pea greens coming out base at just the wrong time, though. So 15 minutes. This is maybe the time where Kayaking Koala could be pushing out a tank, given that he's gone for absolutely no light vehicles and has had, you know, a pretty strong hold on his fuel overall. Maybe he's got harassed a little bit, but nothing too crazy. No like extended cut-offs. So this is a time where AT gun usage maybe comes in. Looks like Cross-Pacific locking to infantry training.
Completed.
I think it's a fine choice,
A victory point is being
but
overrun.
one that should have been chosen like maybe immediately after the Humber.
The beggars are threatening a munitions point.
Oh, that one didn't get healing. Interesting. Immediately after the rebuild on the Humber, or after building the first Humber
Threatening
even.
a victory point.
So you want that to pay off. Could have already been in effect for like 6 minutes here. A missed position on
Victory
that
point
unit.
is in enemy hands.
And maybe you could have converted that into enough map control and fuel control to pay itself off by now. Instead of going for it now when maybe you need to be taking up and pushing out a tank.
Territory sector lost.
It's a question of timing on that upgrade. Maybe a little bit
The
suboptimal.
enemy is pushing hard. We're down to 250 points.
But yeah, Kayaking Koala really missing his tick timings. Hasn't gone for anything. Look at how much damage those grenades do. Has so much trouble dodging them. He's going to retreat through it as well.
We have command points
He
available
lost a
for
squad
use.
to it.
Victory point.
That extra flame damage, they are nasty. They across the Pacific managed to tick up company command. Usually I like to try build like one towards the exit as well. Spread my buildings towards the base exits if possible. Not a huge deal though. Pretty sure like most of the top rank players don't even do it. Oh, bunker down this side for Kayaking Koala. He's locked into breakthrough as well, so it looks like it's going to be a Tiger. I suppose that maybe could have been expected based on what we haven't seen so far. EP situation a bit rough for across the Pacific now as well. Mortar's popping up a flare. We saw a recce flare go up moments ago as well. He's going for truck to try chuck it on the fuel, boost up the resources. Not really needed though, he's got enough for a Tiger already. Across the Pacific starting up, I think that's a Crusader.
A victory point is being overrun.
18 minutes. A little bit on the late side for a Crusader. Oh, it's a late retreat.
Point lost.
But the suppression saving the day? No, not quite. So I think, you know, Crusaders can still work in their late game, but it's just maybe if you've got like Australian defense with some kind of buff on them over a pair,
Sector lost.
instead of at this timing where you just about side tick to Grant and build a Grant. So the timing on this has been missed by about 2.5 minutes, which matters a lot when your opponent's about to push out a Tiger, and doubly so when you're already up against double AT guns and the Crusader can die to them very, very easily. It's probably not a very good choice.
Commander, enemy forces hold all victory points.
Want to go for something with a bit more durability, so it won't just die to the double AT guns. Finds an opportunity here to clear off the bunker. Slow getting out. Just fast enough though. So a lot, yeah, okay, I was just about to say, a lot of these Brit engagements could be so much better with the grenade package, especially buffed up with the flames from this battle group. They could be absolutely ruining these units. And no, here we go, here's a huge moment. The mines might save these guys though. So I think ideally in these spots, especially with this, you want to be doing a flame burst, running forwards a bit, doing a flame burst, running forwards, stuttering your way up with the engineer while the flamethrower is cooling down between bursts. Get the best results. So this is where the effect of only having one engineer is a problem as well. So, tank has been out of action for a very long time now.
Victory point is in enemy hands.
This could even be a spot to withdraw the tank, forget about repairing it, send it home and just go for a crocodile. In fact, it's probably the correct thing to do. Don't have to repair up a tank you're withdrawing either, save a lot of engineering time. Oh, this could be... okay, only drops one model to the mine. Might be fine. VP situation is not though for across the Pacific. That is very bad. And this tiger's going to be coming out shortly as well. I suppose the good news is the Piets, you know, they've vetted, they've got their like stunning shot, which works better against Wehrmacht since they don't have smoke unless they've gone for mechanized. So just being able to stun with that is very handy against the tiger.
We're losing a victory point.
Okay, it's a nice angle. Shooting through that gap the Crusader made. Worked out very well. Crusader's over here, there's nothing. Could even have tank ridden over here. Well. Could even have tank ridden over here. Like engineers jumped on top, driven over. Would have got here a bit faster. Maybe they did buff up how quickly you can load and unload onto tanks.
Buckle up, gents. We're down to
T-guns here, they're rotating. There's the risk of doing a move like this. It's efficient, but can get yourself in some trouble. So this might get repaired off just in time. Yep. No engine damage anymore. House coming through, but the Crusader is fast enough to get away from that.
You have command points available.
You know that flame burst happens from a flamer. It really stops squads in their tracks, right? Doesn't go so slowly. So at this stage, yep, across the Pacific, here's the croc. I'm going to go for a squad of foot guards. You would definitely at this stage have the read that the tiger's coming back the other way. So the foot guards are okay. Gonna help you with some edge control maybe. Prevent Pegrins from charging in on you. It might bleed quite a lot against the tiger. There's a squad wipe opportunity though. Here comes the croc. Problem for Brits at this stage of the game, I'd say, is that getting indirect fire, getting a bishop, is quite expensive. Getting the side tech and then building it. So dealing with the double AT guns is extremely tough.
Victory point lost. The enemy has control.
And then if you want to deal with the AT guns and then be prepared for the Tiger at the same time, it's not easy to do. I didn't actually check if they fixed the Vet 1 mode on the British Mortar. It used to be the Vet 1 didn't buff up the rate of fire at all, even though it said so in the description. Made it pretty much useless as an ability. Okay, we've got a section quite far up here.
Critical locations can be
Getting some
designated
good
for
damage
appointment.
on the AT guns. That opens up the Croc an avenue to return. Don't want to get close enough to get Fausted though. Oh, there was a mine back there. I didn't see it. Foot guards need to lob some grenades too. The Vic is back there shielding. Don't think the AT guns can do much against this. Still hurting for repairs though. Only one sapper at this stage. 2 tanks now needing repairs in the Croc. A lot of health that needs recovering. It'll take a long time to repair. One engineer. Even that's a lot of repairs for 2 engineers. Okay, I think this is fine. Bringing in this tank not at full health.
Royal Engineers on the field and ready for your orders.
Looks like Koala switching over to munitions. Uh-oh. So sometimes you do want to put your unit on hold fire so it can disappear into the fog a little bit faster. It might have been one of those situations. It's like nothing that you want to shoot at, and you're worried that your unit, by shooting at another unit, will keep revealed for longer, allow the AT guns to get another volley of shots off. Going on to hold fire. There's the ticket sometimes. Mine's on that side again. Oh, that's a huge burst of suppression though.
We're losing a victory point to enemy action.
Hold on. Did he go for the command tank? No, it's a Tiger.
Victory point.
I was getting confused. He did build a lot of squads, Kayaking Koala. Instead of going for the Tiger for some reason, spent all his manpower on something else, which is definitely a strange call. It's given this Croc a lot more time to do some work before that Tiger's arrived. But it's definitely weird in this scenario with the Croc. Can't attack ground through that effectively because the flamethrower doesn't work with attack ground. That's a nice burst there. Ordinarily, this might be a situation where you throw a preemptive grenade onto your feet, but with the flames that you leave behind, can't do that as much with this battle group. You end up penalizing yourself. Still worked out fine on that occasion. Guards find the truck. It's gonna survive though. And the Tiger is on the field. 29 minutes though. Quite late for Kayaking Koala. Probably could have been out on the field about 8 minutes ago. That's a great hit from the Croc. Okay, this is a nice two-pronged attack. Pack goes down, but there's the Tiger. So there's no handheld AT to help back this up. Time for the Crusader to get out of here as well. Oh, got a PBM wipe here as well during all the carnage. Got to make sure this Crusader doesn't die though. Okay, it doesn't. Vickers does. Might as well throw a snare there. I think it was free. Oh, but then the Crusader didn't back all the way out. And it died. That Crusader was really important. Needed that as a flanking tool. I was just going to say, like, there's probably the time in the game where you consider upgrading it, upgunning it, and using it as a flanking tool. Maybe bring some engineers down the flanks, making sure there are no mines, because Koala has been planting quite a few. And just having it at the ready. Poised to pop in from the side.
We're losing a victory point.
Stop
to
the
enemy
Tiger.
action.
And then, you know, combining up 2 Crusaders to do that task would
Victory point
maybe actually be able to
belongs
kill
the enemy.
the Tiger.
The enemy has our victory point
So
now.
cancelling that Crusader, going for an AT gun. This might... Ah, no, it's hard to say.
Overrun. The enemy
Might be a situation for the 17-pounder. Kayaking Koala doesn't really have much indirect. Could check up and get a Nebelwerfer, but doesn't have one yet. Doesn't have like a super strong off-map in this battle group. I think you can get the incendiary bombing, but he hasn't got it. Could be the time for the 17-pounder.
Anti-tank crews are on standby for orders.
And I think the Croc could do a good enough job to defend the 17-pounder from like P-Greens charging in on it. Still would leave an obstacle though, how to deal with the double AT guns, though I'm not sure about that. But here we go, this is it. This is the moment. Tigers come forwards. Foot guards with the Vet 1 from the side. The Croc not in position to do anything with this. This guy's pinned. AT gun's coming up, but... Oh, it's not it. Oh, and they die after that too. Croc's just over here AFK. Ooh. That was an opportunity there for sure. That Tiger that far up.
There's a threatening of victory point.
Honestly, if that AT gun was there like 20 seconds earlier, it could have been it too.
A victory point.
Would have
is
got a
in
little bit lucky
enemy
with the
hands.
pins, but...
Keep the pressure on. They only have 100 points.
Well, both players very, very low on VPs at this
Victory
stage.
point is being
Army
overrun.
sizes though, Kayaking Koala nearly double. I don't think AcrossThePacific has got team weapon training either, so
The enemy has our victory point.
doesn't have the
now.
AT guns buffed up.
Anti-tank weapons
So
and
that
crew
does
on the
make them
field.
quite a lot worse against the Tiger now. Both in terms of surviving and rate of fire.
Sector lost. Repeat.
And the
Sector
Churchill
lost.
isn't very well equipped to fight the Tiger head on. Its penetration not up to the task. It's quite slow as well. There's trouble getting away from it.
They're losing a fuel point.
Squad wipe. Luckily the Tiger's on prioritized vehicles.
The enemy has claimed a sector.
Wow, they get some great hits there. There's a lot of repairs on the Tiger.
We're losing a victory point.
Bazooka's still here. This squad could come up and grab one. Piet and Bazooka. Be pretty powerful.
Victory point is in enemy hands.
Stolen Vickers there. Okay.
Got a last one!
Shaking it away. Back at full strength. All thing of beauty, eh?
How to tackle this? This is a tough one. I think AcrossThePacific maybe needs to try play on the flanks. hopefully cause AT guns to rotate, like wherever the croc is, like let's say the croc's on one of the sides, everything rotates to fire at it, then bringing in like a fast tank like the Crusader to play for the edge.
One last. We're losing a victory point to enemy action.
Good work. Go for the other edge, come in from for a rear attack. Maybe clear off the machine guns, guard in the middle while the AT guns are pointed this direction, that kind of thing. Maybe situation looking bad though. Canadians getting on top of that one. Croc's heading out here, but there's nothing. Nothing gets defending it.
We've 25 points left.
Might even be a spot for the sweepers to come in here instead of the flamers, just because the two engineers here look like they could have been planting mines. Ran over a mine with the croc here not too long ago. Tiger's coming down, engineer's about to get wiped.
Lost contact with us.
Double ATs are in a good spot.
Being overrun. Victory point lost. The enemy
Croc's
has
just
control.
leaving them though. Try to come across here to contest the VP. Very slow, the croc. Very, very slow. There is the incendiary bombing now for Koala. So that would have caused problems for the 17-pounder.
Report. One of our anti-tank guns is gone.
Okay, winning that fight. I think this croc just has to muscle up, try and knock this out while the tiger's still low. But make sure the flamethrower is pointing towards it though. Such a huge source of the croc's damage. Probably like attack move this machine gun up here. 87 points remaining. Tiger's just about back up to full though.
All done here.
I don't think there's no burnout here, right? Call in. Here comes the machine gun now.
The beggars are threatening a victory point.
Tiger just shrugging off the hits.
Reports just in. The enemy is down to only 75 points. Victory point belongs to the
Croc
enemy.
not up to much. Spooks out with it, that's fine. So that's going to be it. That's 15 points. Doesn't look like there's much of a chance to get on top of them.
Brace yourselves. We're down to our last
I
10
suppose we might
points.
as well talk about it while we're still on the map. So yeah, that build was fine. Early game. 2 sappers, 3 sections, taking up, building a Humber. That's all fine. Maybe some slight micro inadequacies on the Humber, you know, looking for smokes on it, maybe instead of reversing. Definitely got to be paying really close attention to it as well. Very, very important unit. Don't want to lose it. Just a bit slow backing away from AT guns on multiple occasions. Crusaders and Humbers as well. And yeah, as I said, I think what that Crusader should have been withdrawn and then got the Croc out, and then the Croc would have been on the field like a good 7 minutes before the Tiger maybe. Could have done major damage, but by the time it arrived, the Tiger was shortly thereafter, and then double AT guns that are already quite well vetted combined up with the Tiger is just too much to handle, especially as I was saying with Brits, like trying to get indirect fire on top of this is quite a challenge. That side tick off to the Bishop, rather painful. And you don't have like a really good off map in this battle group either to help break through the AT gun wall like that, so it's tough. I think the Croc is not like a particularly awesome tank either. I think some of these situations, if you find yourself in a spot where you've already ticked up, you can push out 2 grants. It might just be the better call to go for 2 grants. If you've already got your tick up, things have been going smoothly for you. Because yeah, it's so slow. And as I said, like the flamethrower, sometimes a bit fussy. Have to get it pointed up the right direction. Anything else to think about? Yeah, I'm not sure of the 17 pounder. I honestly don't, I'll say this. I have a lot of trouble countering the Tiger myself. Like, I'm always raging about it. Bouncing shots off it, never dies, wiping all my stuff. I have a tremendous amount of trouble fighting against the Tiger. So I'm not going to pretend that I have some kind of great solution to conquering it in this scenario, because I think it's very tough to do with the tools available here. It's maybe a situation where you need to get a bigger advantage in the early game. You know, going for that healing, you expect you'd have like a pretty big tempo advantage based on that. Stacked up with the Humber versus no light vehicle at all. And again, you should have a big tempo advantage based on that. And then the incendiary munitions, maybe that should have facilitated like early grenade tech would have really helped out a lot of these cover-to-cover fights that were happening through the middle from like the 8 to 15-ish minute mark. The grenades with the burning munitions could have been nasty. Could have led to a lot more map control. So maybe playing for more of a tempo game in the earlier stages rather than relying on the Croc is the way to go here. But yeah, as I said, I'm not sure. So far, I just haven't been that impressed by the Croc. Could even go for the recovery engineers. I don't think I've seen anybody go for those yet too often, but 25% damage reduction. When they got the flamethrower with those burning munitions, they're actually pretty good as well. Maybe could have slowed down the P-Greens. Yeah. And, if you've got 400 munitions, you might as well just start spamming point assault if you're just coming into the middle or whatever. Just use it anytime you're making an attack if you've got the munis to spare. And rebuilding the second engineer if you're rebuilding the Humber, just so you've got enough repairs to keep it active. Don't have to wait for repairs back here for like 30 or 40 seconds. Well, anyway, guys, a wrap on that. See the income stats.
Damnation!
The enemy has us dead to rights, Commander. It is over.
Yeah, KD's actually slightly ahead. I suppose Tommy's a bit more expensive than Greedy's to reinforce, though. Well, anyway, guys, wrap on that. If you like a game to be cast by me, details are in the video description below. Otherwise, I'll catch you all for the next thrilling installment. Goodbye and good luck.